Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel, Debbie with Ebby Reviews, and this is going to be my review for AJ and the Queen episode, season 1, episode 2. Now, I don't think these episodes have any names to them, at least I don't see. Let's not be a complete liar. Hold on. Let me go. Yep, we're here. Oops, wrong thing. Let's see. Episodes are more. Episode 2 was called Pittsburgh. Okay. Gotta do all that on the TV. Pittsburgh. The episode is called Pittsburgh because it was based around, that was the first stop on Robert's tour. And was in Pittsburgh. So, we start out at a diner. Robert and AJ are, AJ is eating blueberry pancakes with blueberry syrup. And Robert is trying to make inroads with AJ, talk to her now that he knows that she is a she and not a little boy. This kid cusses a whole lot. A whole lot. Like, you couldn't be my kid because I would do you like the little kid on A Christmas Story. You would have soap in your mouth because what you not finna do. Listen, I'm a grown woman. I still don't cuss around my mama because I have that much respect for her. So kids cussing around adults, this just do something to me. So Robert asks AJ why she dresses like a boy. And she says she doesn't want to be a girl. And Robert takes that to mean that she's trans. And we'll get back to that. So, so Robert asks AJ, how can I get in contact with your mama? And this child says, and I quote, put some Oxy or some Molly in your hand and stand there with your hand out and she'll come running by, I guess. That's your... I don't know. Listen. Okay. So we found out that AJ's name is Amber Jasmine. So she said that her mama named her after a white girl in a racist Disney cartoon. That took me down. So Robert, so AJ then tells Robert, take me to Texas. And he was like, I'm not taking you to Texas. And he was like, either you take me to Texas or I'm going to tell the waitress that you are touching me. And you know, white little girl, black man, it's not going to go good for you. She was like, oh no, the waitress knows me. I'm here all the time. And she was like, miss. And he was like, wait a minute, she don't know me that well. And so he's like, I'll take you to my next stop and then we'll talk about it. So Robert calls in Lewis up and gets updated, and they say they're going to do the sting that day. And he's doing this like oatmeal face treatment. And he's waiting for the officer that he was flirting with in the first episode to show up. So the officer shows up. Lewis tries to gets the oatmeal and stuff off his face before he answers the door. He is unsuccessful because he is blind. So he's rushing and he doesn't know. And he's trying to flirt with the man. And the officer's a good sport about it. So Robert is looking in his phone at pictures of him and oh boy, the boyfriend who stole all the money, and pining about what it should have been and what he thought it was. He still hasn't, I guess in his heart and mind, he still hasn't reconciled that it wasn't genuine. So they're on their way into Pittsburgh to the club that Robert is going to be performing at when AJ recognizes that she doesn't have her phone. And so she completely freaks out. And when I say freak out, not like, oh my God, I don't have my phone, like full blown panic, screaming, crying, turn around, go back and get my phone. To the point where she grabbed the steering wheel and tried to turn the Winnebago back around to go back in the middle of the road into oncoming traffic and almost killed the both of them. And so Robert then calls the restaurant and talks to the waitress. She's like, yes, they have your phone. We'll come back and get it. So the child will calm down. They arrive in Pittsburgh at their first stop of the tour, and walk into the dressing room where Katya and Jinx, Jinx Monsoon, they have different drag names, Magda and something irrelevant, are getting ready. Then old boy from Sex and the City, the Italian one, Charlotte's gay best friend, not the nerdy one with the glasses, the one who they ended up getting married at the end, the dark-haired one, Mario Cantone. I knew I was going to come up on that name. Mario Cantone is playing a drag queen, and him and Robert don't get along. So AJ was like, well, what's the issue with you and old girl over there? And Robert said, well, we had a difference of opinion, and he refuses to believe the truth. And they then show a flashback of Mario and RuPaul are getting ready to go on, and Mario is upset because RuPaul is doing a Tina Turner number, and apparently he's the known Tina Turner impersonator at that particular club. How you, as a 5'2" Italian white man, are the premier Tina Turner impersonator? Listen, the shenanigans of it was hilarious. Oh my God. So Robert goes on and starts doing Proud Mary. She comes swirling out in this little gold fringy dance number. And so, and then Mario Cantone is like, oh no, bitch, I told you I am the better Tina Turner. And so he prances his ass out there in some pinky red similar outfit. And so they're having like a literally dueling Tina Turner lip sync on this stage. Mario ends up tripping and falling, and RuPaul just continues the lip sync. And apparently Mario has never talked to RuPaul after that. Y'all have to forgive me. I am sleepy. I may take a lunch. I'm hungry too. So, the thing y'all have got, if y'all are not watching this series, you have got to watch. This thing is funny to me. Okay, so Robert is like, there's too much tension. I'm gonna get dressed in the Winnebago. So he gets up, and Mario says something to him, and he's like, what do you even, Mario says, what are you even doing here? I thought you were going to have your own club. And so Robert, wanting to say, face it, I am going to have my own club. I'm just doing this tour because all these big renovations are going on in Blase Blue and Blue. But my club is going to be major, darling, major. Not expressing the fact that man done absconded with all your monies. So, Robert is getting dressed, and he is looking for his phone to check the time. He can't find his phone. And so he assumes that AJ took it. So he starts looking through AJ's book bag, and he finds a Princess Jasmine doll among AJ's things. And so AJ walks in and on him, and he's like, "Why are you touching my fucking stuff?" And that's what he's like, she flips out. She flips out because that's what she does. And so Robert said, "Why do you have these girl things if you want to be a boy?" He's like, I never said I wanted to be. AJ says, "I never said I wanted to be a boy," and she was like, "Wait a minute, no, you told me at the diner that you didn't want to be a girl." She's like, "Yeah, just because I don't want to be a girl, it doesn't mean I want to be a boy." She's like, "I don't want to be a girl because they mess with girls on the streets. If you're a boy, they leave you alone." Like I said in the first, my assumption was correct that he dresses like a little boy to not garner any attention or predators, even though there are predators for little boys on the streets as well. So, Robert tries to Oprah Ayanla AJ into women empowerment. Pretty basically is what happens. With this Best Little Whorehouse in Texas lip sync that he does about being a good woman. So while that's going, right as that's ending, we then cut to AJ's mama, who is servicing a young man. Well, she's finishing and wiping the corners of her mouth in this car. And you see her get out the car and start to walk around a corner. And then we cut to AJ. This is all while the lip sync music and everything is going on. We cut to AJ, and AJ goes into the Winnebago, pulls her hat off. She has this long hair. It's a terrible wig, but we get the idea. This long wig, and then cuts all of her hair into this horrible, horrible haircut. AJ's mama then runs into a cop, and she's like, "You want a date?" Because she's high out of it. And he pulls out his badge, and she tries to run, and he grabs her, and they're tussling, and she drops her phone, and she was like, "I just need my phone." I just need, like, she has the same exact meltdown that AJ has when she can't get to her phone, because that is the only link that they have to each other is their phones. So her mama hollers at her, "Get Tiana, get my phone, get my phone." I guess so when she gets out of jail and they process her out, she can get back to her phone, and so she won't lose contact with AJ. So Robert walks in after he finishes his number into the Winnebago and sees that AJ has horribly cut off all of her hair. And Robert says, "Why did you do that?" And AJ says, "I'm not pretty. I'm not like you. I don't want to be pretty." Which kind of stabbed me in the heart a little bit. It took me down. Oh, so the sting works, and they hem up Lady Danger. Lady Danger gives up Damien's Lady Danger gave up, as we find out later, Lady Danger gave up his mama's home. And when the cops went to his mama's house, his mama gave up his real address because she said, "What the fuck you not gonna do is come and kick my door in." So they go and they pounded on the door. Why they didn't kick his door in? They must have had a warrant in order to get to his house. So why they didn't knock and kick the door in like normal cops? I don't understand that procedure. They were just knocking politely at his door, gave him enough time to put on clothes and go out the window. Where? That's not okay. They like to shoot. You know what? I'm not gonna. That didn't even. So Lewis calls on his cell phone to tell Robert, "Listen, he's on the run. He came here and threatened me." He's like, they looking for you. He's like, "But I didn't tell them where you are. I didn't tell them where you were in Pittsburgh," not knowing that the people were still in the apartment listening to him. So they throw Lewis to the ground, and because they're on FaceTime, and he says, "You couldn't have just left it alone. You just couldn't lick your wounds and let this go. You'd had to call the cops. Now I'm coming for you." and I'm going to get you. And I guess he's going to kill him or beat him up, or I don't know what the fuck he's going to do. But he's threatening him. So, Jesus. So, Robert panics, and he was like, they know where we are. AJ looks at Robert looks at AJ, and they're like, we got to get the fuck out of here. He was supposed to be there 2 nights to play the club again the next night, but that's not happening. So they backtrack to go back to the diner to get AJ's phone. And so when they go into the diner, who was sitting at a table with Lady Danger eating on their way to Pittsburgh? Of course, the boyfriend, who just threatened him. So AJ is like, I'm going to go get my phone from the waitress. They don't know what I look like. So AJ walks up to the waitress. The waitress gives her the phone. She grabs a sharp steak knife out of the silverware tray. And I'm like, I know this little girl's not about to stab this man in this restaurant, because it's about to take a dark. I know this is Netflix, and this is supposed to be a lighthearted comedy, heartwarming. She gonna stab his ass? Like, what is happening? But she doesn't. She walks past him. When they're walking out to the parking lot, stabs 2 of his tires, flats his tires. I said, oh, smart thinking, little girl. Smart thinking. So they get into the van. Robert's trying to not have a panic attack and get his keys. As they are backing out of the parking lot, another car is backing out. Crackle, smash them, they crash. And that is how the episode ended. I am finding that I am super enjoying this show on Netflix. It is called AJ and the Queen. It stars RuPaul and a plethora. I feel like every episode is going to be different Drag Race alumni. I'm all in for this show. Please, sir, ma'am, if you haven't seen it, if you have any affinity for Drag Race, drag queens, go and watch it. I find it to be hilarious. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me what you like. Do you feel like Robert is a little wishy-washy? Like, I don't like he's low. RuPaul is doing some of her mediocre acting, and I appreciate it because she's putting in the effort, and I like it. I absolutely love it. Her being a little obsessed with Oprah. Okay, but we'll see how that progresses. Please, sir, ma'am. Because I have a cowlick like in the middle of my head. It just won't let it. Listen, we're not even going to go there. And then there's a whole, listen. The myriad of problems with my hair today, we're not even going to touch. Please, like, comment, and subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. And I will catch you in the next one.